expected that it would be resolved on appeal, and that's where we're headed.
Similar cases in a number of states are pending or being appealed. Some courts have ruled against barring Trump from the primary, but have left room for action ahead of the general election. And hanging over all of this is an appeal on a ruling from Colorado that the U.S. Supreme Court plans to hear next week. I'm Farah Siddiqui for Pacifica Network and Public News Service. Find our trust indicators at publicnewsservice.org.
Hey there, folks. This is Kitschy Mama. Join me Saturdays at 7 p.m. for Retro Obscuro Weirdo Oldies Radio, bringing you long-lost records from the 1950s and 60s. That's right, Saturday nights, 7 o'clock, right here on KCHW 102.7 FM, Chihuahua, Northern Lights Public Radio.
KCHW headlines, I'm Levon Ellis. Washington Democrats want to give 7,500 low-income state residents recurring cash payments for 2 years, no strings attached. The Evergreen Basic Income Pilot Program would pay qualifying participants a monthly amount equal to the fair market rent for a 2-bedroom apartment where the participant lives. This is the third session where the legislature has considered a basic income program. The state Senate has again passed a tax proposal to boost funding for affordable housing. The bill also passed the Senate last year, but the session ended before the House and Senate could work out compromise language. Governor Inslee has signed an executive order to develop guidelines for the use of AI in state information systems. The guidelines are to make sure the state uses generative artificial intelligence ethically and transparently. Special election voting is underway in Stevens County and 35 other counties in the state. Ballots were mailed out to registered voters a few days ago. On the ballot here are 2 school levies to replace expiring levies. All ballots must be returned to a county drop box or voting center by February 13th at 8 p.m. or postmarked no later than the 13th. For KCHW 102.7, I'm Levon Ellis.
We are the Three Amigos!
Good morning, Chuck.
Good morning. It's the KCHW Morning Show. We are once again this week the Two Amigos.
Man.
Dos Amigos. Just
Dos
the two of us.
Amigos.
We've got Alan. I believe he's that's a big extended carpet convention. I believe he's on the last couple of weeks.
No, we'll send out good wishes though
Yeah.
for him and his mom. I think she's been struggling, and he went to visit her. So he's gone for a good cause.
Yeah. See, now I'm the jerk. Thanks, Scott.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
No,
All right.
we do miss him,
But
though.
since he is gone, we can do this, Chuck.
Okay.
We are two wild and crazy guys!
So crazy.
No?
So crazy. No, I love it. So how are you? Did you have a good? It's been a week since we've done the show. Seems like it's been forever.
Oh, I'm doing good. So tired. I don't know. I've talked to a couple of my friends back there in Washington, and everybody's complaining how miserable it is with the weather and the gray skies. I mean, you're not getting froze out, and you're not getting tons of snow, but that gray gets to you, and it's the same way over here. I am so stir crazy. Chuck, I'm just going to warn you, I might get to the point where I just jump in my car and go and be gone for a few weeks.
I don't blame you.
It is horrible. And I got a buddy, he's talking about flying down to Florida, and he says it takes 2 to 3 days to tour all the NASA stuff. And we're both space geeks. Ooh. So we're thinking about, he's going to fly to Florida, and I'm just going to head south and meet down there and check out Cape Canaveral and all that kind of stuff. Warmer weather, sunshine.
That would be fun.
It would be. So working on it anyway.
I'll fly down and meet you there.
Okay, that'd be awesome.
I did one time. I did the space camp in Alabama.
Okay,
the same one they filmed the movie at in the 80s. I didn't actually. I mean, I didn't do the space camp, but I visited the same place and stayed at an RV park around the block for a few days, and that place was cool.
All right, let's check out something else that's cool, and that's your temperatures. Cool and mild, 46 for a high today, occasional showers this afternoon, and some light winds. Chance of rain is 60% this afternoon. Rain showers will continue into the evening with a low of 39 degrees. It's just kind of confusing because it looks like it'd be a daytime high.
I know.
Friday, 45 and 36. Saturday, 41 and 35. Sunday, 40 and 31. Monday right now, 42 and 32. Yes, about a 50% chance of rain for the next 4 days.
Yay. It's a good thing we have Winterfest coming up on Saturday.
Oh, man. Is it getting muddy in spots? Have you heard people complaining about that?
It is muddy. I know a couple people have had problems with their basements flooding right now with all the rain and all the moisture. And luckily, the creek levels have stayed down, so that's not flooding. But yeah. So
Chewelah is for people with homes and basements. Chewelah is an excellent place to put a hot tub in your basement.
It is. It is. Just drop some of those mug warmers. Just leave them sitting on the floor. Leave them plugged in, and then they'll heat things up for you.
All right.
Yeah, it's good for you.
Today for the kids, breakfast pizza, cereal, fresh fruit juice, and your choice of milk. And then for lunch, and by the way, it is February 1st. Isn't that crazy?
It is.
It says lunches for February 1st and 2nd are going to be switched. So today you get your typical Friday fare, that hamburger, that hot dog, those French fries, fresh veggies, fresh fruit, pudding, and your milk of choice. All right. They're flip-flop. Okay.
And you know what today marks? It's 15. You know it comes in 15 days, Scott?
No.
Discount Candy Day. Yes, it is Cheap Candy Day, February 15th.
Chuck knows what's important.
Yeah, cheap candy and stuffed animals. Get them the day after Halloween. Or not Halloween. Goodness. Valentine's Day.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah, it's all wearing a mask.
Same thing for me. It's just scary. I'm working on my lines though as we approach for Valentine's Day.
Yeah. How about a meatball sandwich, a medium Coke, and your phone number?
How do you think that'll go over?
I think it'll work.
Okay.
See how that goes. Report back to us next week. See if you can come back with 10 phone numbers by next week.
10 phone numbers. Okay.
That's a lofty goal.
The problem with that is I wouldn't even remember them.
That's true. Well, that's why you get them to write them on the receipt, Scott.
Oh.
Sometimes you get them printed on there right there. It'll tell you what restaurant they work in, and then they write their phone number. They have it printed right on the receipt for you. Yeah, it's great.
Oh,
yeah. Just give them a call.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
All right. Let's start off with our bits and breaks this morning. I also have some news headlines. First one, though, is we are approaching, Chuck, you might not know this, it is the biggest chicken wing consumption day of the year.
Yes.
Right? For the Super Bowl.
For the Super Bowl, indeed.
And just out this week, you can order it online, might not get there in time, chicken wing colored nail polish. It exists.
Isn't that just brown?
They should make it in Dorito too, so when you get your fingers all cheesy, it still looks the same.
Yeah, or maybe even have it cheese flavored.
Ooh,
we do have some scented
we
nail
eating
polish.
It then and stuff. That wouldn't be good. All right.
Nom, nom, nom. Especially if people have the fake fingernails that'll fall off in your tortillas. And your nachos.
You won't be able to tell the difference. Right? Oh my gosh! Yuck!
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
All right, Chuck gets to kick off this morning's first bad joke.
That's right. A guy walked into a drug store and headed into the back to speak with a pharmacist. Do you have anything for hiccups? He asked. Without warning, the pharmacist reached over and smacked the man on the shoulder. Did that help? He asked. I don't know, he said. I'll have to ask my wife. She's waiting in the car.
Scared me, though.
Right?
All right, another one. A wife went to the police station with her next-door neighbor to report her husband was missing. Policeman asked for the description. She said he's 35 years old, 6'4", dark eyes, dark wavy hair, athletic build, weighs 185 pounds, soft-spoken, and is good to the children. Next-door neighbor protested. She said, your husband's 5'4", chubby, bald, has a big mouth, and is mean to your kids. And the wife replied, yes, but who wants him back? Wait a minute. He's 5'4", chubby, big mouth, If it wasn't for the bald, it almost sound like me.
Right? See, clearly not you, Scott. Clearly not you.
All right, clearly not.
Yeah.
Clearly not Scott. All right, next up, I have this, Chuck, and I want you to think hard.
Okay.
All right. And this is something, if you have one, go ahead and post it online. We're broadcasting live on Facebook this morning, and you can post yours on. I'm looking for a song, and we're going to say your name and the song you picked if you post this, okay?
Okay.
So just be aware. We're gonna say your name and your song. A song that sums up your life. I was having a really hard time, and then I thought one that kind of fit us both, Chuck.
Okay.
Because I know you've made some faux pas, and I do them all the time. So I thought pretty much summing up our life. And unfortunately, it's that Britney Spears song. Oops, I did it again.
Wow. But I only have 2 paws, Scott. I don't have 4. Yeah.
Huh?
I don't know if it sums up my life so much, but When I'm 64 by Paul McCartney has always been one that kind of sticks with me. Maybe looking into the future. I don't know. I don't know if it has anything to do with my current life or past life, but
Currently, I'm looking at Back in the Saddle.
What do you mean, Scott?
If you choose George Thorogood, Bad to the Bone, that's not a good thing.
No,
not at all.
So,
Any other songs that you kind of think sum you up?
oh man, one of my favorite musicians, Keller Williams, did one called "I Fell in Love in the Porta Potty Line" in the parking lot of some show. I think we've all been there.
Ew. That's just creepy.
Actually, the one that I dedicate every year to my wife on Valentine's Day. It's Tim Minchin. He's an Australian musical comedian, also playwright, and working on being a rock star currently. He did a song called "If I Didn't Have You," that has always been one that I really love to dedicate on Valentine's Day and our anniversary. The full title is "If I Didn't Have You, Someone Else Would Do."
Wow. Women all over town going, even the guys.
It's actually a very sweet song, and it's about the mathematical probabilities of finding your one true soulmate in a world with 7 billion people.
Oh.
But you're good enough. You'll do.
I was just thumbing through some songs in the late night hard rock list. I think Dreamer could be a good song for somebody, a song that sums up your life. I don't know. No,
like the Elton John song. Is that Elton John?
No, there's a lot of them. You Supertramp, Ozzy Osbourne.
Okay,
there's been a lot of songs called Dreamer.
Okay.
Or maybe you choose NXS, Elegantly Wasted. Really, it sums up your life.
Wow, you need new hobbies.
Yeah. All right, moving along this morning, women are revealing why they really need a man around. And Chuck, that's all you.
Yeah, so this comes from Cafe Mom. She's a blogger, and she asks readers why they need men. This first one, my real answer is that I need a man to change the 5-gallon water bottle dispensers.
So do I.
Right?
Please.
If anybody's out there, the KCHW water dispenser is empty. If you could please bring a 5-gallon water jug by, that'd be great. Thank you.
I have arthritis really bad in my hands, and I would have to wait till someone with better hands than me showed up to pick up that thing and put it on the water cooler. So I get it.
Oh, well, yeah. I'm going to go later and get that, but people don't need to care. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, nobody cares. Because fixing my car and killing bugs. I would have cooked food on a grill because I can't do that either. Fixing a car, killing bugs, cooking on a grill. I think those are all things women can do.
If they wanted to.
Right,
but thank God they don't.
Well,
where would we be, Chuck?
We have actually rules about, some bugs in our house are okay, but we have our spiders that live up in the corners of the walls that we actually, when we have people over, we put notes up to remind them, please don't kill our spiders. Because they're the big cobweb spiders. They're big and gnarly, but all they do is catch flies and other bugs and stuff. So
they don't make their way into your bed and bite you on the buttocks.
No, they live up in the ceilings. They stay in their lane.
Yeah, I'm not okay with any thing that bites me in my house or a centipede just because they're creepy.
Ooh, centipedes are gross.
Yeah.
I don't like those.
My daughter found one in the house, yellow and 3 inches long with like a million legs. Creepy.
Have you ever seen a hellgrammite?
No.
They were big in the South, and some of them were like 3-4 inches long. And and they smell. They like emit this like stink behind them, and they're horrible. Oh, they're awful. Yeah, one of my biggest fears.
All right.
This next one says, I'm a single mom. I wish I had the dad voice. When my boy's father was alive, he could do the deep dad voice, and they would listen. Me, not so much.
Yeah, that is kind of a benefit. I remember kids getting online. Dad has to bark, and everybody turns and looks because I think it's because it's deeper and louder.
I bet you had a good dad voice when your kids were growing up. Can you give us your dad voice?
You'd have to do something really bad.
My dad voice on our kids is completely ineffective, but I do have the dad voice for the dogs that seems to work. I do the get out.
Yep. You just got to get really low from your diaphragm and everything, and like especially if they're doing something dangerous, with just hey,
stop it,
and everybody jumps. Yeah.
The dogs, you got to do the growly voice, and my regular voice we can scream all they want. They don't listen. I do the growly voice. Boop down.
He's serious.
Yeah.
Oh, he's half dog.
Yeah, and I just recently discovered that too. And it doesn't even have to be an angry voice. You just have to talk like this, and they listen. I don't understand.
You're making me very angry.
Yeah, right. Okay.
You want to skip that one?
Yeah, I'm going to skip the next one here. Probably not appropriate for radio. It says, well, he's almost a foot and a half taller than me, so I use him for reaching things that I can't.
Oh.
Scott, there you go.
That's what I do. It's funny because I do that with girls.
You do need a man around the house, Scott.
Can you reach up and get that off the counter for me?
I do get a lot. I go to the grocery store and I get that. I'm not even that tall, and I'm always at the grocery store and can you get that for me? Can you get that for me? And then then I walk away from Scott.
Shut up, Wesley.
Sorry.
Wow, that was harsh, Chuck.
Hey,
you cut me deep.
Good things don't always come in big packages, Scott.
I will actually start scaling the racks to get something off the top shelf. You precariously, and I've always sooner or later I'm gonna like pick a bad rack to stand on. But I figured they hold canned goods and stuff, so they're pretty strong. But I've been up a couple rungs before and haven't got caught or brought the whole shelf down, so that's kind of cool.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm scurrying on up there.
Like Spider-Man.
I mean, just a little too embarrassing to ask.
Do you make little skittering noises? Scott around their grocery store.
I think we got rats again.
Another one here for killing spiders and snakes. They also added to that to mow the yard, till my garden, build my greenhouse, build my chicken coops, go to work and spoil me. He has since he's 17 years old and he's now 41. So he's basically a servant, I'm hearing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's man abuse, I'm telling you.
The next one here, I need my husband to be a strong family unit. Okay.
Oh, there you go.
This next one, there's nothing a man can do for me that I can't do myself. Men have only ever made things in my life harder.
Well, if you learned anything today, it won't be the truth.
Ironically, my wife says the same.
Oh, that's not me.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's not mine.
This one, pay for movies and go halfsies on the bills.
Huh.
Okay.
Okay.
The next one here, this one's sweet. My husband's my security blanket. I hate sleeping alone, so he knows mad or not, he has to sleep in the bed with me. We can ignore each other if we want, but we have to sleep together.
Oh,
yeah.
There you go. You should go to bed mad, just saying.
You should never go to bed mad. Sometimes it happens, but, try not to wake up mad, too.
All right, my next one is slightly funner than Chuck's. It's called Body Parts We Don't Need. I encourage everyone to lop it off. If you don't need it, take it out.
Wow.
Don't be watering and feeding things that you don't need to, then serve no purpose.
Yeah, it's like a tree that needs pruning. It just uses extra resources.
Yes.
Yeah.
And first up, your pinky toe. Don't need it. That rumor that you'll fall over if you don't have your pinky toe, not true.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that have lost their pinky toes and stuff, and they're not just out there falling over randomly.
Right. And if you have a pinky toe, can you send a picture?
Are you asking viewers to send pictures of their pinky toes?
Yes. Or listeners, yes.
Yes,
please post a picture on Facebook of your pinky toe.
Wow. There you go, Scott.
I mean, if I lost my pinky toe, I'd keep it, wouldn't you?
Oh! I thought you were just asking for feet pictures on our morning show.
No, that's
Scott.
creepy.
Okay.
That's creepy. That comes after this.
How about a meatball sandwich, a medium Coke, and your phone number?
And a picture of your cut off pinky toe.
There you go. Wow.
I'm just kidding.
By law, you're allowed to keep.
I'm
those
all about
things.
fingers. No, I'm kidding. All right, something else you can do without, Chuck, your wisdom teeth. This third set of molars, largely useless, doing little beyond crowding the mouth and sometimes causing pain. I had the bad ones that abscessed before I got them pulled out, where you have like half a softball on the side of your jaw.
Ooh, ouch.
Wisdom teeth, bad.
I have one where I had to have the last molar pulled, and the wisdom tooth it was growing in crooked, which caused the actual molar itself to break. And when they removed the molar, the wisdom tooth went boop and popped right in its spot, like it was never gone. Yeah, they just replaced it. So
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they call them wisdom teeth. You get them while you're still young, where they come in your mouth,
right.
And then they always cause problems. So I think the only reason they call them wisdom teeth is because you go, oh, that's smart.
Exactly.
All right, this one is going to be kind of hard to say. It's a vomeronasal organ. Vomeronasal organ. Go ahead and pick this one up.
Vomeronasal? Vomeronasal?
Yes.
Vomeronasal. That sounds like a fancy movie.
These are tiny and useless chemoreceptors lining the inside of the nose. I don't even know what a chemoreceptors. I don't even know what that is.
Huh.
So, but apparently we don't need them. Cut them out.
Get rid of them. Scrape them out.
All right. Most body hair. While facial hair serves some purposes, the hair found on the rest of the body is practically useless and can be removed with few ill effects.
Wow.
So why does facial hair serve a purpose?
It keeps your face warm and allows you somewhere to store your leftovers for later.
Oh, and a way to scratch your significant other.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I just hate talking about lady stuff, but here we go. Female vas deferens, a cluster of dead-end tubules near the ovaries, are the remains of what could have turned into sperm ducts if they were a man.
Yeah.
All right. And here's I didn't know we had this. Male uterus. Yep.
Wow.
Men have one too, sort of. The remains of this undeveloped female reproductive organ hangs on each side of the male prostate gland.
Wow.
And you don't need them.
Well, when we're first forming, we don't have one sex or the other that comes later, correct? Or I don't know.
I think so.
Something like that.
Well, no, because there's the X and the Y with the chromosomes. So
we're all formed with all the parts, and then we just go one way or the other, I guess. I don't know.
Mutate, Chuck. Mutate.
Yeah. We're all mutants.
All right. And then the one everybody's heard of course, the appendix. Yep. Your appendix, basically useless. While it does produce some white blood cells, most people are fine with an appendectomy. Still have your appendix?
I do. I almost had it removed once, and then it was a false alarm.
Oh, well,
yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I tried to sell mine before I knew they were useless.
Oh, man. That's just your luck. That's part of the reason we can't drink out of creeks and dirty ponds and stuff.
Do you like my appendix?
I don't need it anymore. That is
creepy. Chuck, you like exercise?
I don't hate it, but I don't love it. Need to do it. I think
do it.
I think I'm going to start doing it some more. We have the gym's open back up in town. Big news story. Everybody's talking about it. I think I might start going back.
All right.
But yeah.
Get manly men in the full bloom of their manhood.
That's right. Excuse me. Do you know where the gym is? Yeah. Which way to the gym? Yeah. So these are things, if you hate running or cycling or moving in general, you can justify that cheeseburger. Then figure out how many calories you can burn by doing some other not so fun stuff.
Okay.
This next one, I'd rather exercise cleaning the gutters. 300, that burns 300 calories.
Yeah.
That seems like a low reward for a lot of work.
Yeah, it does.
Other than, your gutters are clean, but who cares about that?
What about being on a ladder adding fear? Does fear burn calories?
I'm going to go with yes. I'm going to say yes,
Okay.
Scott.
Yes. All right. All right. Thanks.
Making your bed, 13 calories. What?
Nobody's ever made my bed then.
That's just disappointing.
Well, and I think it's more for me because I'm so short. It's not like I can reach over to the other side or anything.
Right.
I got to crawl up there and get in it to make it, which is really, really wrong.
Or you do the one corner, like the fitted sheet, you do the one corner and then you go over the other corner and the first corner pops off again. So then you go back to the other corner and then the first corner pops off again. Always. Never ending struggle. Slow dancing for 20 minutes, 81 calories.
Ooh.
Okay.
Hey.
How about a meatball sandwich, a medium Coke, and your phone number?
Okay.
They said not so fun stuff. Slow dancing is fun.
Yeah.
I don't know about 20 minutes straight though without stopping. That's a long dance.
Yeah, and it's better than fast dancing.
They're all gonna laugh at you!
Mm-hmm.
Look like Elaine from Seinfeld.
You dance like a guy.
Washing your hands, 16 calories. Okay.
Oh, unless you're OCD, you could get that up to 100 real easy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and do it 5 or 6 times an hour. There you go. There's a good exercise plan. Washing the dishes by hand, 30 calories.
Wow.
Now,
I think you can up all these because, like, if you jogged in place while washing the dishes by hand, you burn a lot of calories.
Yeah, and then take a break, slow dance, and then get back to dishes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This next one, I'm gonna count doing the morning show on this, Scott, because it's essentially the same thing. Sitting in a 1-hour meeting, 122 calories.
Well, but if you fidget a lot, you could probably go up.
Right?
Yeah.
What about the stress of when you're called for your turn to respond to something and you've been scrolling Facebook on your phone instead of paying attention to the meeting?
Yeah, I got that right here. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Now you're back to the fear burns calories.
I agree with Stephanie over there. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
That's when you look into the person who's taking the minutes and say, can you read the last 2 minutes back to me, please, before I answer?
Yeah. Yeah, anytime anybody in the meeting, could you repeat that last thing, please? It's because they weren't paying attention.
All right. Weird things people actually believed as kids. These are some responses that were posted on the internet. I used to think there were little people inside traffic lights who pressed buttons to make them change from green to yellow to red.
Ooh, I like that one.
And little people need jobs too.
They do. I imagine that as a kid too. Like there was like a hatch and you'd pull back like the lights up on the posts and there'd be like little people sitting inside with little controls.
Yeah,
I love
okay.
it. I love it. I think they should.
I guess I was smarter.
I knew they weren't. I just imagined there was.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. I thought women got pregnant by overeating. I told my mom to eat more so I could have a little brother.
Wow. That's dumb. Everybody knows it's watermelon seeds.
That's right.
Yep.
There's one I thought that the bank machines gave as much money as you wanted for free. That'd be nice.
I used to tell my parents when they said they didn't have money, just write a check.
I heard they bounce.
Yeah, like a ball.
Right. Here's somebody posted, I used to believe that teachers lived at school inside of their classrooms. Well, they probably feel like they do.
I'm sure one or two have at times.
Things are just tough at home. Sleep here.
Mr. Nesmith, why is there a blanket under your desk?
And then this one's real popular as kids. I know parents did it with watermelons too. When you eat an apple and accidentally swallow the seeds, an apple tree would grow inside you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think that's because the seeds are so high in arsenic, a scary way to keep kids from eating the apples.
Yeah. I have about a 4-year-old sealed jar of crabapple liquor that I made years ago that I've never opened it, never tasted it, don't know. It's full of crab apples with the seeds still, cinnamon sticks, sugar, all the whole things. And I always wonder, it's the seeds because there's what is it? You say arsenic in there?
Arsenic,
yeah. And I've always wondered, like, what if that got into the liquor and I shouldn't be drinking this because it's been soaking in the seeds for years.
Huh?
I don't know. I think it's fine.
Huh.
It's fine. It's fine.
Google it.
We're fine.
Google it. All right. We have a news story if we get to it today about a guy who miscooked his pufferfish. So I don't even know why you'd chance that. So kind of like you are with the apple seeds. Do I really want to do this? Is it worth it?
I saw.
A sip won't hurt you though.
Yeah,
because I believe arsenic's cumulative.
It's good for you in small doses.
So I've heard. I'm not going to try it. All right. What is these are Chuck's? What's the most you'll understand when you're older thing?
Yeah. So here's some: sitting outside in nice weather, doing absolutely nothing is a gift. Okay. Yeah. I think that's all ages, though. Don't you remember as a kid just sitting outside? I actually think I got much more enjoyment out of it as a kid than I do now, because now I sit outside and think, oh, I have so much stuff I should be doing instead of sitting here doing nothing. Yeah.
It gets to a point, I think, especially in that middle age period, it's you forget how to relax sometimes.
I did right before Christmas, which is the wrong time of year to do it. I cleaned off my porch. I hung up a porch swing that I bought, and I got it all nice for sitting in. And then it's cold, and gross. So yeah.
So I got to a point with running the radio station, and you may too. So watch out for it. Where I forgot how to relax. It had been years since I just relaxed. And I remembered living at Loon Lake and how relaxing that was, being so close to the lake and being able to go boating. And my eldest daughter got to experience that, but my youngest didn't. So I decided I was going to do something for both of us. And I put the camper out at Loon Lake on a lot and for the summer, and got a cheap little boat to run around the lake. And it literally took me a couple weeks to be able to relax again. When I'd go out on the water and try to just sit there in the boat and relax, I was miserable.
Wow.
Yeah. So I believe that's a thing. So.
Wow. Huh. Well, let's not do that.
No, I've refined it now. I can relax at any moment.
Good. I find I just get awkward when I don't have something to do. It makes me antsy not having stuff to do. I don't know.
That's a problem.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So it's better to be alone than in bad company. 100% true.
Yes.
Yeah. The importance of good posture and stretching.
Yes.
Yep. Avoid those leg cramps.
And you don't realize that. You might think you know now, but you've been through some health problems where you've had your body doing things that you don't want it to do, or not being able to do things that you want it to do. And by the time you realize I shoulda, woulda, coulda, it's too late.
Yeah. It's 3 a.m. and you're screaming in bed with a leg cramp. Yeah. Yep. Not everybody's going to like you, even if you're a good person.
Huh.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
You can't. What's the old saying?
Then that's kind of a frustrating thing when someone like hates you and you don't. What's the reason?
Right.
You know, and doing a job like you are now, it puts you out there, and you can run into those situations where somebody just doesn't like you and you don't have a clue.
Oh yeah, I've put up with that. I know that happens. All you can do is go on and be nice to someone else. Naps aren't a waste of time.
They're awesome.
Naps are never a waste of time. I need to get better at taking naps. My problem is when I take naps now, I get jabbed in the elbow. Do I need to rewind this for you?
Or a cold nose wanting you to pet them, right?
Yeah, I get that a lot. Or I'll fall asleep with my phone in my hand, and all of a sudden there's an aggressive nose at the bottom of my hand, and my phone's flying up in the air across the room. Yeah.
I used to, people that knew me would be irritated because when I was working in corporate America, I really got down the napping thing where I could fall asleep easily within 2 minutes and take a 15-minute power nap.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes within, I had one of my spouses tell me, when you come home for lunch and you kick back in your chair, it is under a minute and you're snoring. I was like, yep, I'm good at napping, just not staying asleep.
Yeah, if I stop moving, I fall asleep. Pretty much, it's like a switch.
I want to see that.
I sit down, I stop moving, boom, I'm out. Like a light, yeah. Let's see, the joy of a good mattress.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Remember as a kid, I don't think I cared or noticed what mattress I slept on, but now that I'm an adult, it's like, ooh, it's
important.
You go shopping, you read the reviews, look up the consumer reports,
Mm-hmm.
take out a loan. Yeah. The power of compound interest over time.
Important thing to know.
Like, I've been paying on this credit card bill for 4 years and it's still the same balance and I haven't even used it. What's going on here? Yeah.
They didn't teach that in high school when I went. Hope they do now. No.
Yeah. The fact that you have a 30% interest on a credit card and you pay off 10% of that every month.
And that's one thing I'm going to go ahead and give this to Obama. He made this big deal out of how he's going to protect people from credit cards and credit card abuse and the high interest rates and stuff. And after he passed that new credit card law, what happened?
Oh, credit card rates went through the roof.
What a lie we were fed, because it was already to the point where it was 19.9%. 99, whatever.
Yeah,
that was the most they could charge on a credit card. Now 29, and if you go default, it's like over 30.
Yeah. Well, right.
So how did he make anything better? Yeah.
Well, I mean,
the whole minimum payment had to be more, because usually I think what that law did, the only thing that was beneficial is the minimum payment had to be more than the interest, so that you were actually paying something off on your credit card.
Not very much, though. No. Not very much. Yeah, they it used to be, well, 19% now is good. Like, that's not a bad interest rate. It used to be that was horrible.
Wow. Wow. I won't even have one. I'm not. I've fallen into that trap before, and now their interest rates are so high, you'll never dig yourself out. If you're using a credit card with 29.9% interest, just go ahead and file bankruptcy.
Yeah,
because there's a no-win scenario for you.
Unless you win the lottery or find a big chunk of money on the street, you're not going to pay that off. So
you're in too deep.
Yep. What's the last one here? Turning 18 doesn't make you an adult. Or this isn't the last one. Second to last. Turning 21 doesn't make you an adult. Neither does graduating from college or getting your first place or getting married or having a baby. It's a gradual thing. Also, I'd like to add to that, it's all a lie. Being an adult, nothing changes. You still feel like an awkward child. They don't tell you that when you're a kid.
You're always going to feel awkward in public. It's okay.
You're always just making it up as you go along. You just have an older body. Nothing in your brain.
More changes. To laugh at. There you go.
Yeah. Last one here. Definitely true. Sleep is a gift, not a punishment.
All right. Moving on, then our next one. It's kind of in the same vein. Advice given by older people that is basically irrelevant now.
Right. I still hear some of these.
Get a secure job with a pension plan, and the answer is where?
Oh yeah, my grandpa had one of those.
Yeah.
He told me about it when I was a child.
Don't waste your time on the internet. It's a distraction, Chuck.
That's true. It is.
How is that irrelevant, though? That's kind of still true.
It is still true. It is still true. It depends on what you're doing.
And you could be working on the internet,
right?
And that's not a distraction. So, okay. Yeah. The next one, old people advice. That's irrelevant. Invest in real estate. It's a sure thing.
Ooh.
And you'll hear a lot of different comments on that. I think sometimes, especially when you get older and you need to retire, and that house could be your saving grace. So,
yeah, that one, it's true and it's not. It just depends on when you buy. Like, anybody that bought a house during COVID, they're probably hurting right now because the house values have dropped a little bit since they were 2-3 years ago when everything went skyrocket. And some houses, if
you sold your house during COVID, score,
right?
Big score.
I was looking at what we paid for our house and looking what those values were during COVID, and like, But then, what are you going to do with it?
I almost felt bad when I sold my property. I got 3 times what I paid for it, and I had bought it 4 years beforehand, 5 years beforehand. There's nowhere you can put your money, stock market, anywhere that you could triple it in 4 years. So I called that a score, but it's just timing. You could have very easily lost money in a different situation.
Right, right. Yeah, if you were the opposite, if you were the one that bought your property and tried to sell it 4 years later, you're going to lose money.
Or trying to sell it today.
Yeah, yeah.
Good luck. Man.
But at the same time, throwing, to me, I mean, no offense to the landlords out there, but to me, renting is just kind of throwing your money away. You get a place to live that month, but nothing to show for it afterwards.
Especially with today's housing prices.
Yeah.
Now, I would argue with that if you were an elderly person, because even mobile home parks, there is something, or I guess that's probably not a good example, but there's something to be said to not have to worry about the property taxes, mowing your lawn,
maintenance,
upkeep, maintenance, that kind of stuff. I mean, a lot of people get into home ownership and they don't realize the depth of what they've just done. They're like, hey, we can make this payment, because we're all big on living just at the edge of our means or beyond. And you buy that house, and that first year you find a leak and you realize you need a new roof. And then the furnace goes out, and now you need a new fridge. And I mean, it's the well is very, very deep, and it's almost endless.
And then what do you do?
Problems you can have.
And then what do you do to fix those things? You get credit cards or get a loan and get yourself into more debt.
So, I am no investment person. I've made lots of mistakes, but you really got to think those things through and look at the big picture. And that's what I've tried to do. Like, as a parent, you try to teach your kids from your mistakes. And I always pose that question: what if? What if you lost your really good job tomorrow and you got to go get a different one and you get half the pay? Right. What if? Right. And I think that's how we get into trouble. It's how I've gotten myself into trouble before, is not asking those what if questions.
It can be done responsibly, but it's hard.
It is.
We got a new fridge on a Lowe's card a couple years ago. Paid it off interest free before the interest free thing was up, and then had another project. And paid that off first. Did the other project. Now we're paying that off. So
and sometimes you'll find when you need new furniture, you're going to pay too much for it. But there is a thing when the furniture store says interest free for 1 year.
Right.
Especially if you have the income where you can pay that off, or it still happens. It's more rare, but the 90 days, same as cash. That's a great way to do stuff to keep yourself from the credit nightmare.
You got to be careful though. We got in a situation where we bought a living room set, 1 year interest free. We didn't pay that off in that year, and they take all that interest and tack it on all at once.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Read the fine print.
The interest was more than the furniture was to begin with. And it wasn't cheap furniture.
And 99% interest after 1 year.
That's right. That's right. Sorry, we can go on.
All right. Let's see. These are things, advice that may be irrelevant today. Focus on one career. It's the best way to be successful. And I'd say, no, you need to diversify.
Yeah. Yeah. Unless you work in radio, Scott, because that is a high paying industry.
What are you saying, Chuck?
I'm saying it's a labor of love.
But it's fun and rewarding. There you go.
It is. It truly is.
And I don't feel sorry for you, Chuck. I did it for 12 years there, and I never got paid.
Oh, I know. No, I feel sorry for you, Fat Scott.
People would ask me why I do it, and there were some people that think I had to be up to something nefarious. But as you well know, I mean, rumor got back to me one time of somebody saying I was lining my pockets with money from the radio station.
That couldn't be funny.
And it was like, oh, where is that money? Because as you know, gross receipts on the radio station are barely enough, and sometimes not enough to keep it going at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, we were pretty consistent and stagnant for years of making $16,000 a year and spending all of it. It's a public radio station; they don't make money.
No.
We try, but it's a difficult thing, and you could go to any public radio station on the planet, and that's why years ago you couldn't even have a sponsor a sponsor announcement. This portion of programming brought to you by, if you did, it could only be from a foundation. A philanthropic foundation, and public radio stations were just dying like crazy, and the government switched it up to where you could have a sponsorship announcement, and we refer to them as thank you announcements, and it's a thank you for your donation of money that keeps the public radio station going, and that can come in the form of a sponsorship announcement. Some people might think they're commercials, but if you noticed, ours do not have music behind them or anything. They're all dry voice. It's one of the laws. But it's awesome that the government did that, and that you could actually have a commercial business have a sponsor on your radio station and keep the thing alive. And thank you to all of our sponsors that do that, and our morning show sponsors. Thank you so much.
Well, it's a good thing too, because it not only keeps music playing on the air, but public radio does a lot for public events and public activities and doing stuff around the community. So.
And people know Chuck's the station manager, but nobody gets paid for doing the morning show.
No.
So we do that. People ask me why I started to say that, and I said, well, it's a really great thing for the community. When I started this, why would you do it for free? It's a great thing for the community. It is every disc jockey's dream to be able to build a radio station. Anybody that's really been into radio, it's their fantasy. Comes true for very few, so I feel very blessed for being able to do it. And the third reason why I would do it for free is it strokes my ego. What more could a guy ask for? You get to live your dream, it strokes your ego, and it's good for people, and it's good for the community. I call that a win all the way around.
I got to say, not to keep waxing poetic about this, but one of our new DJs, Old Man Mark, on Friday night, he came in with Dirt Road Doug, and it's one of his lifelong dreams was to be a radio DJ. It was on his like number one thing he's always wanted to do his entire life and never had the chance. And that was enough for me to say, yeah, absolutely. We're fulfilling dreams here at KCHW, Scott.
There you go. I always thought some people might remember Jeff Newman, who was on the air. He passed away a couple years ago now. And I miss Jeff dearly, but I remember when he showed up at one of our very first concerts, and he loves music, and he loved soul music. He did our soul music show, and he is just so jacked about the concert he's just seen in the radio station. He goes, I want to be involved. How could I help? And I said, what kind of music do you like? He goes, I'm really into soul music. And I said, would you like to do a soul music show? And his eyes got about as big as 50-cent pieces, and he held up his hands and he said, no. I mean, I want to clean the bathrooms or something. I was like, sorry, dude, we don't clean the bathrooms. It's a radio station. You're going to do a soul show.
And thank goodness you did that, because, man. Yeah. Yep.
All right. What else we got left here? Older advice given by older people. That's irrelevant. Last two. I did the focus on one career. So we'll do, you need a college degree to get a good job. And unfortunately, that is not true.
There's a lot of unemployed people with degrees out there.
Yes. Yep. Yes. I'm always blown away that I actually, just friends and people you've meet throughout your life, that I'm actually one person who worked what he went to school for. It's almost rare anymore. So,
I mean, technically, I did take an FM broadcasting class one semester in college, Scott.
Well, there you go. That counts.
Yeah.
You looked into it. I can't
did.
remember how many people I started college with in radio that quickly dropped out and went, yeah, this ain't for me.
I
want to get rich.
a very sobering statistic. The income levels on average between a master's degree and a doctorate actually drops once you get that doctorate, as far as average income. Yeah, it's a weird. I mean, obviously not for doctors themselves, but there's a million different types of doctorate degrees you can get. When you aggregate all the numbers. The average income actually drops from the master's to the doctorate degree.
I don't know. There's something, though, about doing the college. I have one friend graduated from Chihuahua and took off for college, just a total science nerd. Mm-hmm. And he then NASA tapped him his very first year.
Wow.
Brought him in as an intern in his first year of college. Brought him in as an intern for the summer, and ended up getting his PhD, and now works for the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. That's impressive to me.
So he's a freaking rocket scientist.
He's literally a rocket scientist. Wow. Yeah, pretty impressive. Impressive.
I have a friend from high school. He went into college directly after high school. 45 years old, just graduated college last year. I mean, he does like biomechanical engineering and creates high tech artificial limbs and that kind of stuff. So I mean, it's pretty impressive stuff that he does. But
sure.
Yeah, about 25 years of schooling and countless millions of dollars in student loans.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy, isn't it? All right. Let's. We got a couple minutes left to wrap up this segment. Just a couple trivia questions for Chuck Ritchie.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
I'm not sure if that's me or Chuck.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
All right. First question, Chuck. Longest anyone has ever done this is just over 24 minutes, and you'd be amazed they didn't die. What were they doing?
Holding their breath.
Yes! How could you do it for 20... How could you hold your breath for 24 minutes?
That seems insane.
Wow. And how do you practice?
Were
they frozen?
Was it like one of those people that have you seen like the abalone divers? Those guys,
okay.
they hold their breath underwater they're like a whole tribe of people that hold their breath underwater forever, and they go diving. They're like fish. They're crazy.
Wow. That's neat. Yeah. 13% of Americans say they've spent the night here. 13% of Americans they spent the night here.
In a cemetery.
No, but I don't like it.
Yeah. Is it a haunted house?
No.
In a car? I think that's
scary, but it's not a haunted house.
It's scary. Is it
or a cemetery?
Is it in their mother-in-law's house?
It's like for real scary, like that, but worse.
Oh. Like a mother-in-law's house or like a cemetery scary?
Like a mother-in-law's house.
Because one is imaginary scary and the other one's real scary.
13% of Americans say they've spent the night here, and there's probably a large percentage too that stayed there for a while.
At work?
Looking for jail. 13% of us have spent a night in jail.
Wow.
That means more than one. Like for every 10 people you meet, at least one of them has spent a night in jail.
You ever spent a night in jail, Scott?
No, I haven't spent a night in jail. Have you spent a night in jail?
No, I haven't. Never been arrested. I got a ticket once. That's about it.
I had one of the sheriffs put me in the back of a sheriff's pickup one time. I said I wanted to sit in it. They were in front of the radio station because I'd never been in the back of one.
Yeah.
And I get in there and I was like, oh man, don't shut the door. This is too claustrophobic. I'll have a panic attack. And he says, I find it hard to believe you've never been in the back seat of a cop. Surprise, surprise.
What do you do when you work in radio? You have a reputation to uphold, Scott.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Collectively, Americans consume 450 of these every second. It's a food.
Oh, 400.
Summer food. Summer food.
Is it a piece of chicken, fried chicken?
No.
No.
They love to give them to kids.
Is it an icicle, a pop?
No, it's a food, I said.
Oh, it's a food. It's food. Icicles aren't food? Or I guess I was thinking, like the push pops and stuff,
No, that's not food.
Okay.
That's a dessert.
Ear of corn.
No, looking for hot dog.
Hot dog.
Collectively, Americans consuming 450 of these every second. I bet you most of them are kids.
I saw a British thing it was a picture of an American section in a British grocery store, and one thing they had as a typical American food was a canned hot dog, a full-size canned hot dog in a glass jar.
Oh,
it was
nice.
Absolutely disturbing. Next to the canned onions.
All right, Alice Cooper's birthday is just a couple days away. going to be 76. All right.
Wow.
So we're going to play Older Than Alice. I'm going to give you an invention. You tell me whether it's older than Alice Cooper or not. Okay.
Okay. That's pretty old.
Super glue.
I'm going to say older.
It is not. The super glue invented in 1951.
Wow. Probably by accident.
The non-stick pan.
I'm going to go younger.
That's right. It is not older than Alice, 1954.
Yep.
Pez candy.
Ooh. I'm going to go out on a limb and probably be wrong and say older.
It is older than Alice.
Older.
Pez
Okay.
candy, 1927.
Okay. I know there's a long, lustrous history of Pez candies.
All right. The cell phone.
Definitely younger.
And do you know what year the cell phone came out, out of curiosity?
Go 1976.
79. So you're
79.
pretty close.
Okay.
All right. Tupperware.
Older.
It is 1947.
Yep.
And canned beer.
Canned beer is probably older. I know during World War II it became popular, correct?
Correct. 1935 for canned beer. All right. Did pretty good. Round of applause for Chuck. When we come back, Mr. Chuck Ritchie will have local birthdays if we have any today. We'll also take a look at some celebrity birthdays, a little bit of history, goofy holidays. We always wrap up the show with the fun stuff, and that's the crazy people, the odd news. Stay right here. It's Northern Lights Public Radio. We are KCHW 102.7.
We are the wild and crazy guys.
How about a meatball sandwich, a medium Coke, and your phone number?
It's 8:20.
Your KCHW morning show, made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW-FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
And by Chewelah Flooring.
Chewelah Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chewelah Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Del Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at CheWelahFlooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at CheWelahFlooring@gmail.com.
Chewelah Motel and RV Park. Chewelah Motel and RV Park, located at 301 South Park Street in Chewelah, offers 14 single or double rooms, each with a refrigerator and microwave, in-room coffee station, Wi-Fi, cable, and 58-inch screen television. 2 Airbnb options are available, both with full kitchens, coffee, and a 65-inch smart TV. They also feature 26 full hookup RV spots with 30-amp service. For reservations, they can be reached at 509-935-4763 or CheWelahMotelandRVPark.com. Chewelah Motel and RV Park, 301 South Park Street in Chewelah.
This is KCHW 102.7.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Stuart Smith. The leaders of the European Union's 27 nations have approved an extra $50 billion in funding for Ukraine. They met in Brussels on Thursday to convince Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban to allow the package to pass. He had been holding out, demanding the funds be reviewed on an annual basis rather than approving everything in one go. something the other 26 leaders were against. Meanwhile, European farmers and other activists have taken to the streets near the EU Council to try to capture leaders' attention while they're in the city. Ross Cullen reports from Brussels.
We're here in the centre of the Belgian capital, a major demonstration going on. You might be able to hear it in the background. Some of the protesters here. There are tractors surrounding Place Luxembourg, which is right in the centre of the European Union quarter in front of the European Parliament building. Fireworks going off. There are big tyre fires that have been set going as well by farmers. But it's not just agricultural workers here in Brussels. There are the left wing, the right wing are here. There are demonstrators from pro-climate groups, anti-free trade groups, for Italian demonstrators and Spanish demonstrators, people also from the Baltic states like Estonia here, all demonstrating for different reasons in the centre of the Belgian capital. Ross Cullen, Brussels.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky welcomed the EU's decision to approve the $50 billion aid package for Ukraine. Megumi Lim reports from Kiev.
Zelensky responded to the EU's decision on Thursday, saying he was grateful to European Council President Charles Michel and EU leaders for establishing the €50 billion Ukraine facility. The aid package will be supplied to Kyiv over the next 4 years. This is a big morale boost for Ukraine as military aid from the US continues to stall in Congress. Zelensky said it was very important that the decision on Thursday was made by all 27 EU leaders, which proved the strength of the EU's unity.
Uganda has suspended gold exports until issues related to tax are resolved. Gold dealers had previously protested an increase in levies, arguing most of the gold exported from Uganda is simply brought into the country for processing and then re-exported. Isabel Nakiria reports from Uganda.
The Uganda Revenue Authority is demanding more than $88 million from at least 4 gold exporting companies. The revenue agency has instructed banks to seize funds in the accounts of the affected companies. Airlines have also been asked not to accept any gold shipments from these companies. Customs officials say the gold companies are relatively new and have not completed documentation that allows them to export gold. The Association of Gold Dealers argues the decision is illegal. Isabel Nakiria in Kampala.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks. Today and tomorrow, the accidents of history. They are the subject of a new book by Brian Class, an associate professor in global politics at University College London. Fluke takes a look at the phenomenon of random chance and the chaos it can sow.
Yeah, so what I'm basically doing is I'm applying chaos theory to humans. And the opening story of the book is looking at a vacation that a couple took in 1926 to Kyoto, Japan, where they fell in love with the city. And, normally a vacation doesn't change the world, but 19 years later, the husband from that couple ends up as America's Secretary of War, Henry Stimson. The Target Committee, which is deciding where to drop the first atomic bomb in 1945, picks Kyoto as their top target. So Stimson springs to action and twice meets with President Truman and gets him to take Kyoto off the list. So Hiroshima gets bombed because of a 19-year-old vacation, and the second city, Nagasaki, gets bombed because the original target, Kokura, is briefly covered with clouds at the time that the bomber arrives. The point is that the world has always worked like this. There are all these little moments that divert history and divert our lives. I think the difference is that we've made the world more prone to flukes. The 21st century is basically a series of unforeseen calamities. I mean, from 9/11, the financial crisis, the Arab Spring, started by a guy lighting himself on fire in central Tunisia, Brexit, Trump, the pandemic. So I think we've engineered systems that are at the absolute limit.
But why does he think society is becoming less resilient today than in previous generations? He'll explain tomorrow. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap the top stories, the leaders of the 27 European Union countries have agreed an extra $50 billion for Ukraine in non-military aid over 4 years, overcoming objections by Hungary's leader Viktor Orban. A couple in China have been executed for throwing 2 toddlers out of an apartment building where they fell to their deaths. And over 1,000 flights have been cancelled across Germany after ground staff walked off the job at some of the country's busiest airports. That's the latest feature story news. Stuart Smith reporting.
amigos!
But two amigos, welcome back to the KCHW Morning Show. This is myself, Chuck Ritchie, and Scott Allen, without Allen.
Yeah, we're not meaning to cheat you, but he's taking care of his mommy, which is awesome. There you go.
It is. And one thing I have to say about Alan, anybody that knows Alan knows how important his family is to him. He's an excellent family man, and good to see that. So.
Yes.
Good guy. We love you, Alan. We hope everything's going okay.
Yeah.
Cheese.
Cheese. C-H-E-E-S-E. Cheese.
We love it.
Are you saying I'm cheesy, Scott?
Just a little.
Okay.
Just a tiny bit.
I mean, you wouldn't be the first person to call me that.
Really?
This week. Yeah. I know it's a surprise, right?
I find that mildly surprising.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. Before we roll out those local birthdays, Chuck, I just wanted to give a little tease here. Of course, the Winterfest happening this weekend.
Yes.
And tune into Chuck always does a community calendar every day. It has all the local events going on. And at Winterfest, you are going to have some entry forms for Chihuahua's Got Talent 6.
That is correct.
And if you remember right before COVID, the last Chihuahua's Got Talent we did happened on May the 4th, which is Star Wars Day. So we tied it in, called it May the 4th Be With You.
That's right. You know what date it's going to be this year, Scott?
What day, Chuck?
May the 4th.
Oh, Be With You Part 2.
That's right. May the 4th is on a Saturday. The best part about it, I don't have to make new signs.
And we get to break out our Stormtrooper gear, which is super cool.
It is. And you'll look super cool out on the street corners.
Yes. Look for people right before the show out and about too, just selling tickets on the streets in Stormtrooper outfits.
That's right. That's right. Well, we do need volunteers for that. So if you want to put on a Stormtrooper costume and go out and sell tickets for the show and promote the show, you are more than welcome to.
And this year we are doing it in conjunction with the Chihuahua Center for the Arts, correct?
Correct. That is true.
All right.
Yeah. We're gonna have
they got more staff than us, so they can help us pull it off.
Well, they're going to be the first 2 weeks of the preliminaries are going to be right here in our theater, and then the last final performance with the main event is going to be at the Center for the Arts.
And it's very cool because we got the long corridor for the tryout people that can be outside the room getting ready. In years past, people be practicing their routines and stuff in the hallway, and then they can filter into the theater. Mm-hmm. And planning on broadcasting it live across YouTube like we've done in the past so people can watch from home. It's always fun. And looking for sponsors. So look for Chuck to be pestering. If you own a business, Chuck might come in there and pester you to sponsor it. That's how we come up with the prize money for people.
Oh, I'm going to be there.
It's quite the undertaking, and thrilled that we're rolling it out again. It's going to be Chihuahua's Got Talent 6.
Yes.
All right, tell your friends.
I'm really excited to be taking the helm on this, Scott, and it's going to be awesome. And I love seeing there's so much talent in here that doesn't ever get seen.
I'm always amazed at some point during the tryouts, during the show, I would usually break down and cry because I was moved so much by someone's talent or how much they changed from the tryout to the performance. Mm-hmm. It's just amazing. And we had kids that started out maybe early on, number 2, number 3, maybe didn't make it, would come back the next year and end up taking first place.
Yeah.
It's an amazing process, and what a fun night. Now I'm going to throw this out in advance, and Chuck will be mentioning it more, is the last time we did it at the Center for the Arts, and it was a sold out show. Yeah. We actually turned away people at the door for the first time for one of our talent shows.
Right.
You don't want that to be you. You don't want to show up that night and you can't get in. So when those tickets go on sale, don't wait.
Right.
Because seating is limited and it's a big deal.
Yeah.
All right.
Get your tickets the day they go on sale even.
Yeah, don't wait, because people waited on Chihuahua's Got Talent 5, and they found stormtroopers blocking the door, and they couldn't get in. We were sold out, standing room only. All right, we love that. And what a great thing, though, to sell out the show too. Sponsors come up with the prize money for the show. So as we announce those, and if you want to be one, you can get in touch with Chuck. And we don't know where we'll end up. It depends on how much prize money we get. But in the past, first place has been awarded $600 to $800, which is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, the better the sponsors, the more money we can bring in, the more prize money a local talent gets.
And then the door proceeds will benefit the Center for the Arts and the radio station and Center for the Arts. I'm sure they'll be selling stuff, and we'll have a membership table and all that kind of stuff. But it doesn't bring in a lot of money for the radio station. This is a thing we do for the community and showcasing the talent that we have, both kids and adults. It's always a mix and impressive. And in fact, one of our school teachers at one point won Chihuahua's Got Talent.
Wow, that's very
cool.
He
he was blown away, but he blew us away too. So
awesome.
There you go. That was Dave. All right, let's move along. Local birthdays. Did we have any, Chuck?
Can you say the last name on the person who won? Dave. Who's Dave?
Johnstone.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Very cool. So today is, oh my goodness, look at this. I have to flip over the calendar, Scott, because it is February. Do you believe that? Wow. I can't believe it's February. It was just September yesterday.
I know. I just wanted to get to like mid-April and stop.
Right. Okay, so our birthdays today, it is Cruz Katzer, Sharon Lawrence, and then Mark and Jerry Trudeau have an anniversary today. So
all right, you know them, you love them, you see them around town, point and laugh, tell them Scott and Chuck talked about them on the radio.
That's right.
All right, happy birthday, everybody, and anniversary. All right, let me get back where I was. I was listening to you so intently and talking too much that I got lost. So we've got celebrity birthdays today. Bill Mummy.
Who?
You might remember Bill Mummy from Lost in Space. He was the little boy.
Oh, he's not a little boy anymore.
No, 70.
Wow.
Cheryl Finn from Twin Peaks, 59. Pauly Shore, 56, and going to return to TV playing that, what was the, Richard Simmons.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Have you seen the two pictures of him side by side? He looks exactly like Richard Simmons.
I don't know who to feel sorry for.
It's bizarre.
Wait a minute, I kind of look like Pauly Shore. Oh.
You don't at all,
And
Scott.
wait a minute, Richard Simmons?
Okay. No.
I'm just going to get some 80s gym shorts and wear those.
Then you would. The little strappy tank top. Run around all excited all the time.
Yes.
Perfect.
Michael C. Hall from Dexter and 6 Feet Under, 53. Lauren Conrad from The Hills, 38. Heather Morris from Glee, 37. MMA fighter Ronda Rossi is 37. She punch me anytime.
Right.
Harry Styles is 30. Julia Garner from Inventing Anna and Ozark is 30. And on to history we go. It's called It Happened Today with the one and only Chuck Ritchie.
That's right. In 1790, the United States Supreme Court convened for the very first time in New York City. Probably the last time they had a functional meeting. Looking forward to the future. 1887, Harvey Wilcox of Kansas started selling off 120 acres he owned in Southern California as a real estate development. His wife named it Hollywood.
No way.
Yeah. Wow. Too bad you didn't hold on to that one, Harvey.
There was this morning, there was or maybe it was yesterday morning, there was a Camaro stolen in downtown Hollywood. A new Camaro, and the police pursuit ensued. And it's the first time I've ever seen it. I'd heard that they used a grappling hook to stop the car.
Wow, that is awesome.
It's on YouTube this morning. If I can't on the fly get the video pulled up and into our camera system, but and didn't have time before the show started. But it is amazing. He rear ends the car, which the kids have already. It's two kids, and they've already wrecked the back quarter panel, so it's hanging and dragging behind it. But then the cop car smashes into the back of the Camaro, and as it goes back, you can see that there's now a hook installed, and they bring the car to a skidding halt, and the kids stick out their arms and get it promptly arrested. But but the grappling hook, very, very Batman, very cool.
I was going to say, was it a bat hook?
It's what it looked like.
Was there some guy with it strapped to his belt?
Good job, Robin.
I love it. Wow. Then in 1949, the 45 record was introduced by RCA Victor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You know, you want to know how old I am, Chuck?
That many years old?
That many years old that when I started in radio, we were still playing 45.
Is that when you were born, Scott? Do you want to tell us? Was it 49?
No, I was born much later than that.
Okay,
but we were still playing back when I started in radio, 1985. We were still playing 45s. I remember when the first CD came to the radio station. We were so excited to play it over the air, and it sounded horrible next to all the vinyl. It really did. The volume was so much louder, and the fidelity was so much better. It just all of a sudden we went, well, we're going to need everything on CD, or it's going to sound funny.
Yeah. Well, to me, it's kind of like the same. Like we got these new high def TVs. And you look at them and you can see like the pores, individual pores in people's faces, And I like the older TVs. I like to have that filter. I like it to not look like I'm in the same room with somebody. I'm watching a movie. I don't want them to be in the same room. I don't.
There's a guy, and you'd like this. He's selling miniature TVs. They're literally like 2.5 inches tall. It looks like an old floor TV, and it's even got knobs on it, and you can load it up with videos from a flash drive.
Wow.
It's like 2-inch TV with a screen.
It could go right next to my old vintage tiny radio.
Yes.
It works great. Yeah. Wow. In 1964, the governor of Indiana declared the Kingsman hit Louie Louie was pornographic and asked the state's radio stations not to play it.
I've lived in Indiana. And all the news that comes out of Indiana, this does not surprise me.
Wow.
They put the neck in redneck.
Yep. Wow.
Okay.
Then in 1964, the G.I. Joe was introduced by Hasbro. The first one sold for only $2.49, and the figure's name came from a 1945 film, The Story of G.I. Joe.
Oh, by the way, Indiana, I don't believe has any state parks.
Oh, that's a reason to not go to Indiana.
You'd be hard-pressed to even find one because the entire state is corn.
What?
It's true.
Is that a piece of land over there? Let's grow corn on it.
Yes. In fact, to drive through there in the summertime, it's very claustrophobic because the corn's so tall. And you'll be driving along, and you're like, cornfield, Walmart, cornfield, grocery store, cornfield. It's weird.
With an occasional creepy small child staring at you from between the rows.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And some guy burning Louie Louie records.
Oh, man. Oh, here's a sad one. 2003, the Space Shuttle Columbia disintegrated during re-entry into Earth's atmosphere. None of the astronauts on board survived.
Very sad.
I remember that one. I remember the Challenger in the 80s. I remember sitting in class in school. The kids all gathered, and that was the first time a teacher was going up in space. So all the teachers were excited. We were all sitting there. All the TVs were going in class, every classroom, and we all watched it happen live.
And today, kids, we'll learn about death.
Yeah.
It wasn't good. No.
It was just
and there were classrooms across the country watching.
And it was just like a stunned moment of silence for probably a good 5 minutes of like, what just happened, Very, very sad, very sad. 2004, during the Super Bowl halftime show with what was termed a wardrobe malfunction. We all remember this one. Singer Janet Jackson's breast was exposed, resulting in a $550,000 fine against CBS's parent company, Viacom. Wow. That's why you have that 15-second delay with the skip button, Scott. Do they have that for TV?
Yes.
They do now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that happening, and I was watching it, and it was so fast. I don't remember it actually happening live, and then it wasn't until like later on when it became a big deal that I don't know.
Yeah. Why didn't I have TiVo?
Why didn't I pause
it? Was TiVo a thing back then?
I don't even. 2004, maybe? I don't know.
Right.
I didn't have it.
Is it still a thing?
Is it? I don't know. Everything just. We use like YouTube TV, so we don't even have cable. We just use YouTube, and they have a TV service, which I think is probably more expensive than cable is. And 2021, Wisdom the albatross, the world's oldest known bird, hatches a chick at 70 years old at the Midway Atoll in the National Wildlife Refuge in the North Pacific.
Cool.
Wow, that's impressive. Then in 2023, thought this day would never come. Tom Brady announced on social media that he would retire from playing in the NFL. This time, he meant it.
Well, excuse me!
Only time will tell, though.
On to special events. February is packed full of them. American Heart Month, American History Month, Black History Month, Children's Dental Health Month, International Friendship Month, National Cherry Month, National Embroidery Month, National Grapefruit Month, National Snack Food Month. That doesn't sound healthy at all. Why are we celebrating that?
Because they're good.
National Wild Bird Feeding Month, Responsible Pet Owners Month, National Cherry Month. Yeah, that's in there twice. National Grapefruit Month, National Hot Breakfast Month, National Macadamia Nut Month, National Condom Month, and National Return Shopping Carts to the Supermarket Month. Wow, it's packed full of them.
Wow. You know this.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say returning the shopping carts to the supermarket. There's a couple trains of thought. One, some people say it's job security to leave those out there in the parking lot. Some people say it's just polite to return them. A lot of people have the bins. What do you, Scott? Do you return to the store? Do you leave it in the bin, or do you just leave it by your car and drive away?
The wintertime, it's the bin. Summertime, sometimes back to the store.
Yeah. Actually, a lot of times the kids were like, I'll take it back to the store. I don't know why they love doing it, but they just love bringing the cart back to the store. I'm like, okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, they hit about 15, 16, then it's all over.
I think the grocery store workers probably have better things to do with their time than go out chasing carts in the parking lot.
All right, car insurance day today, change your password day, decorating with candy day, G.I. Joe day, as we just talked about, dark chocolate day, sweater day, serpent day, spunky old broads day.
Love it.
And World Read Aloud Day, which we're going to do in just a few minutes.
That's
and, seconds, as soon as Chuck does, number for the day.
And where would we be without our spunky old broads? Think of all the spunky old broads you've had in your life, and how great they've been to just have in your life. I love them.
Yes, my mom was a spunky old broad.
Yeah. Yeah, so we have our number for the day. That's 541. And this is actually kind of surprisingly low, I think. It's the number of articles added to Wikipedia each day.
Oh.
Yeah.
You would think that'd be a little bigger, huh?
And of course, they're all true. Every single one of them.
It's true.
Yeah.
All right. Let's unleash the crazies.
Slap some bacon on a biscuit and let's go. We're burning daylight.
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing.
Be afraid.
You know, you look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your odd news on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
All right, time for today's odd news. We always kick it off with the news attack where the first sentence is true and the second sentence is a bad joke. And I have one that's not on the list, Chuck, that I'd like to start with because I think it's really odd that people are okay with this.
Okay.
They put out a thing yesterday. It says former President Trump has spent more than $50 million of his super PAC money on his own legal bills.
Yeah, that's not a surprise.
I think it's weird that people are okay with it.
Yeah, that they shouldn't be. It's not okay to do that. It's never been okay.
That should be a crime.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
No, I don't know how they get away with it.
Oh, the super PACs go outside.
Because they're probably, they're outside of it, and they can relate that to a campaign expense because he believes he's under attack. He might be in many ways, but he might deserve it in many ways as well. Everybody's got to decide that for themselves. But the fact that he's spending those donations that were meant for him to run to president on legal fees, I wouldn't be okay with that. No. And if he tries to spend it to pay back Jeannie Carroll, that $83 million, that is a crime.
Yeah.
But now I read if he goes to people, and I don't know if he has to start a new super PAC or not, and says, I need money to pay this legal fee, he can do it.
Yeah. Now, these twisted, and it's not just Trump, it's politics in general, the super PAC laws and allowances, is that a Citizens United result? Because that Citizens United really has just turned our political system into a zoo. More so than it was before.
A bigger zoo.
Yeah, a less functional zoo. Counting corporations as people for donations. It's
It's all gotten out of control all the way around. Yeah. And back to the news attack. You want to go, Chuck?
Sure. The Super Bowl is a week from Sunday. The teams are prepared, the fans are psyched, and the officials have scheduled their vision tests. Unfortunately, their glasses won't be delivered until well after the game.
Even better than Thanksgiving, there's plenty of food and football, and you get to invite only the people you actually like.
Only none of those even show up.
All right. I had a joke, but I'm going to leave it alone. Sometimes the filter actually kicks in. According to a study, some kids in the U.S. Use too much toothpaste. And these are the same kids who eat too many vegetables and keep their rooms too clean and talk politely.
What is that like?
Yeah.
Wow. So G.I. Joe is 60 this year. You'll see him later this month in a new series of Cialis commercials. Go, Joe.
I got a whole slew of jokes in my head again.
Yeah.
We're going to have to do an internet-only podcast.
Yeah,
all right.
We'll just leave it.
According to study, giraffes hum. Just what the world needs. More noise pollution from humming giraffes above your head.
I want to hear that.
Really cool.
Giraffes are cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah. Now, NASA's released breathtaking new images of spiraling galaxies filled with millions of stars. I'm starting to think that James Webb Telescope is just showing off.
I like it when they take then the Hubble. They'll show ones from the Hubble.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're competing. Yeah, well, look at our spiral galaxies.
I don't know if we talked about this. There's new pictures of Pluto that are so detailed you can see like individual. They can zoom in and see like individual rocks on the surface of the planet of Pluto. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a gorgeous planet.
If you haven't heard, NASA's released breathtaking new images of spiral galaxies filled with millions of stars, but here's the spoiler alert, Chuck. They're too far for you to visit.
Oh, man.
Sorry.
Maybe my 15,000th great-grandchild. Yeah. So Donald Trump posted on his social media site that he is looking for new attorneys. That sounds like a job for LinkedIn's impossible mission section. Who in their right mind would take on that job? You know you're not going to get paid, and you know you're going to get thrown under the bus.
Just consider yourself as an intern, and you'll be abused like most interns are. Yeah. There you go.
Wow.
Who would sign on for that? You've got to sign on just for the attention.
Yeah.
Thinking that it's going to make you somebody. But you got to realize to about, 70% of us, it's not good.
No, that's a bad look.
It's a bad look. All right, on to Wacky But True. We don't add anything to these stories, but a sound effect from a movie or a television show. And Chuck, would you like to go again?
I would. So road rage equals low bloss. I haven't read further. I don't even know what that means. In Brazil, a man bit off another man's earlobe during a fight. Police say it was sparked by road rage. One guy cut off the other and the two got out and went at it at a stoplight.
Ooh.
Wow.
I always wanted to be behind something like that.
Yeah, no kidding. That's crazy.
Did he just cut off that guy's ear?
I'm sorry I bit off your ear, sir. That was my really bad Mike Tyson. I'm sorry. Sorry, everybody.
Here's the only stuff I could come up with for ears.
I think your ears are beautiful. Sure. As a matter of fact, I think they're very decorative.
Oh, he got your ear, man. He got my what?
Your ear. It's horrible.
Wow.
All right, let's do some running here. A bizarre incident unfolded last week at the Wings of Faith thrift store in Ocala, Florida, leading to the arrest of a local resident. According to an arrest affidavit, Michael DaCosta allegedly entered the store completely naked and stole a T-shirt. You know, if I was completely naked, that would be the last thing I grabbed off the rack.
maybe start in the underwear aisle.
Yeah.
Put on some tidy whities at least.
Because you're going to be looking for a while for the really long T-shirt.
Right.
All right. Witnesses in the area alerted law enforcement and deputies responded to the scene and were able to locate DaCosta, who matched the description given by witnesses. DaCosta explained to deputies that he had run away from somewhere, well nude, and came to the thrift store to gather some clothes.
Wow.
You get arrested for that?
I don't know. I guess it depends on the situation.
Yeah. So, all right, here's some stuff I could come up with for running naked.
Run away! Run for your life! Run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man!
That was a good one. So
the only thing that been better is he was covered in oil.
Right? We once, when we were living in Knoxville, had a naked man knock on our door. Middle of the afternoon. He had been mugged, and they had stripped his clothes, thrown his car keys out in the middle of the road. He managed to run out, grab his car keys, run down, get back in his car. They chased him, shooting at him down the street. He came to my door, naked with fresh bullet holes in his car, another car speeding down him down the driveway. I said, I will call 911. Please get off my porch.
You didn't let him in your house to keep him safe?
You know, there were multiple times living in that neighborhood. It wasn't a great neighborhood, and people would knock on your door pretending to be in danger, and you'd look down in your bushes, and there's the top of somebody else's head that came along with them. Yeah, it was an interesting place. Don't want to go back. Not looking forward to it. Yeah.
So scary.
Yeah, it was a scary neighborhood.
You could have let me in.
But also at the same time, there's somebody chasing him, shooting at him. And I'm not going to let him in my house with my kids while somebody's actively shooting at him. Sorry. I'm not that big of a hero. So.
I would have just opened the door, said, "Here's a gun. Good luck."
Yeah, right.
Maybe not.
I was nice. You know, I gave him a place to sort of a safe place to sort of hide, you know, and then I called the police and the car drove past. So he was okay and we got him help afterwards. But immediately, no, I wasn't going to let him just run into my house.
All right.
So thief drilled.
I'm ever naked. I'm not coming to your house.
Yeah. Please. Another one. A thief drilled his way into a French bank, but missed the safe. Police say the would-be crook instead found himself in a bathroom where he was promptly arrested.
Oh. This was in France?
That was in France. Yeah.
Oh.
I defrauded a major corporation. I created a hole in the ozone of Avignon. I robbed the second largest bank in France using only a ballpoint pen.
You know,
but you ended up in the bathroom.
We did a story yesterday in the Odd But True that was a man who broke into an apartment building and soiled himself and called 911 because he couldn't get out. And if he had gone into the bathroom, he would have been safe.
Oh.
Yeah. The question yesterday was, if you can break an apartment, why not break into the bathroom? Instead of calling the cops on yourself.
That's different. There was a lady on an airline yesterday that got arrested because they were going to land. She said she had to use the bathroom. They said she had to stay in her seat, and she got out of her seat and went right there in the walkway.
Wow.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah, interesting.
My flights are never that exciting.
I saw another story where a man got trapped in the bathroom. The door, and they couldn't get the door. I think it was us talking about it, and they couldn't get the door open.
They slipped him notes under the stall. Yeah.
And they landed the plane with him sitting on the toilet. Poor guy.
He was all blue, literally. A thief in Brazil stole an ambulance parked in front of a building where paramedics were attending to a patient. The man was caught a few miles away because the ambulance was equipped with that thing we call GPS.
Work your magic.
Wait, you want me to track the smell? No. My sniffing tracking days are way behind me. Do you know how many diapers I've changed? How many number 2s have destroyed this thing? But
I don't need a map. I have the GPS. Never need a map again. Thank you.
That's me talking to my wife.
Totally useless. No maps.
Yeah. Don't even need them. Wow. So a Florida school bus burst into flames on Wednesday morning. Thankfully, no students were on board, and the 63-year-old driver escaped unharmed. According to the officials in Jacksonville, the fire started when the bus driver ran over a mattress that was lying on the interstate. An effort to avoid causing a crash, she chose not to swerve. However, this decision led to the mattress getting caught under the bus, creating enough friction to ignite a fire.
You think you would have noticed in the rearview mirror?
Right?
Where'd that mattress go?
Bet you've never smelled a real school bus before.
Hey, I dare you to throw your sandwich at the bus driver. Do it, come on.
I'll turn this damn bus around. That'll end your precious little field trip pretty damn quick, huh?
It's the fun bus! Come on!
It's on fire!
Wow.
Fun stuff.
So we got one left here.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
All right. Is it me or you?
It's you, Scott. It's you.
Oh,
take us out.
Hail to the king, baby.
In the UK, firefighters had to rescue a man from a pub's fireplace chimney at around 8 a.m. Man told police he'd left his phone in the pub as it closed a few hours before and decided to go after it through the chimney. After he was freed from the chimney, he was reunited with his phone and taken to the hospital to be checked out. No word if he's been arrested.
Oh.
Heartwarming story.
Down, Periscope. We're over the last bar.
I think I met you at a surf bar, didn't I? It was spicy. Well, maybe not with spicy, but definitely at surf bar. You know, surf bar.
Try to work in a plug for the new salad bar.
Open bar, dude.
Bar towel.
Those are all things I could find with bar in them. There you go.
And remember, kids, if we've learned anything today, it's that government vehicles have tracking systems. Don't steal them.
Yeah.
That's the big lesson for the day.
Like they're not going to notice you fleeing with an ambulance.
Right.
Maybe you just wanted to make the flashy lights go off.
That's right.
All right, that is our show for today. Me and Chuck do return tomorrow morning, though. It'll be like deja vu, except we're going to throw in a little Jet Timmons.
Oh, yes. All right, everybody.
Tomorrow, 7:20.
Yeah, thank you for listening, everyone. This is awkward. We're being awkward now, Scott.
We're being awkward? Are you stumbling around? I'm just kind of leaving you hanging out there by yourself.
Thank you.
Excuse me!
Have a great day. Keep on listening to Northern Lights Public Radio. We are KCHW 102.7.
Go ahead and run. Run home and cry to mama.
It's